Hi, we are going to look at how you can implement music and make it dynamic in a web application. And we use WebAudioXML to do that. So this is what it will be like. I press play and you hear a percussion loop. If I move the slider to the right, it blends towards a drum loop, and then if I go back again, it blends back to the percussion loop. So this can be used for any numbers of layers, doing anything with music basically. So what we need to understand here is that we got two different audio files. They are both produced in the same tempo, so they are perfectly made in sync with each other. They have different lengths, so one is 4 bars long and one is 2 bars long, which works fine. And then we have two important files here to look at. We have the music.xml file. This is where we write the musical structure of the piece. So we set a tempo, set a time signature, and we create an arrangement. And an arrangement is similar to a DAW, where we have an arrangement with multiple tracks that can play together in sync. So this is exactly how it works here. We've got two tracks and they play synchronized together. You set the loop length to control when the music should replay, so to say, and that should of course match the length of the file. But the files can have an audio tail as well, continuously playing when the next triggering of the file is playing, so that makes the loop smoother. Right, so we specify the audio file that we want to have and an output, and this is important. If we don't specify the output, then the sound will be automatically just routed to the speakers. So you would hear all the layers of the music, in this case 2 layers, playing at the same time. Now when we specify the output, remember the CSS selector here, hashtag mix1-a. It looks for a target element in the audio.xml file, and in this case I have 2 gain nodes here with a matching ID here. They are placed inside a mixer, so that means that they will be mixed together, and if we didn't do anything but just having a mixer and those gain nodes, it would just be mixed once again, and you would hear both tracks at the same time. But now when we have the mix attribute set to something here, it could like be let's say we set it to 0, then we would hear the first gain node. If I set it to 1, I would hear the second gain node, so that we would hear the percussion if we set it to 0 and the drums if we set it to 1. If I set it to a variable using the $sign and a variable name, it will look for the current value of that variable, and we can then change the variable and make the transition between the 2 different gain nodes. We can at the moment just forget about the crossfade range. It has to do with how it blends, and that will be described in the Music Mixer's advanced sketch. All right, so we have this setting, and now the question is, how do we set it? And I show here in index.html how we can make an input slider controlling the intensity value, and the way to connect it is to specify the attribute data-vaxml-input-set equals, and then the variable name, in this case intensity, equals this dot value, which will be the value of the slider. And this is the syntax to set any variable in WebAudioXML using any event in the HTML environment. And there is also a JavaScript command called set variable, capital V, to define a variable and a value to set it from JavaScript. And if you would like to have more layers than just 2, we can simply upload a new file, and I got one here with drums and cymbals, and I need to add another track in the music XML file, and I need to make sure that we have the right audio file name here, and we need to route it to a different gain node in the mixer. So we have 3 tracks now, and they will be routed to 3 different outputs. But we have no output with the letter C here, so we need to make another target in the mixer like that. Now we have 3 tracks, and there will be output. The audio will be output to 3 different receivers, and this intensity slider will now control the volumes between 3 different regions and fade completely between the different regions, like this. Percussion, normal drums, cymbals. So that's it, and you can add as many layers as you would like to.